We've been discussing throughout the program some of the common errors that bowlers make, whether they be advanced bowlers, beginning bowlers, or even professional bowlers. It seems that we all seem to make the common mistakes based on, doesn't matter what your skill level is. So what we've done, we've asked one of the bowlers in the center to come and join us today, and she's going to make some shots for us, and I'm going to see if I can find out what might be wrong with her game and maybe make some corrections. So Sherry, if you'd step over here and just make your normal shot, and we'll see what we can do with it, okay? All right, now Sherry, one of the things that I seem to think that you might be doing wrong and that we can correct really quick is the fact that your push away, rather than being straight out and reaching out to your target with your push away, you have a tendency to drop the ball down very quickly and crouch. So let's try it with a straight away push away and see if you can get a little freer swing from your shoulder and see what happens with this shot, okay? Nice and relaxed from the shoulder with a straight out push away, just like you were handing the ball to someone. That's better, that's good. Much better. Now the problem we corrected there, and you can see the difference I'm sure, was that the push away went straight down rather than out where it should go. By pushing the ball straight out in this manner, you get a freer arm swing, a much more relaxed release, more roll on the ball, and naturally better direction and more speed, which is a natural speed without being forced. Now Sherry, throw a couple more shots and we'll see what we can change other than that. First of all, your balance is very good. You might have a tendency to rush just a little bit. Very good. Excellent shot. Now we're gonna create a problem here and see if we can correct it. See if you can spot it while I'm spotting it. So what we're gonna do is have the lady throw the ball again, and we're gonna create the problem of being a little fast with your feet. And you'll notice when she's a little fast with her feet, as I mentioned earlier in the program, she'll have a tendency for her sliding foot to turn sideways at the foul line and pull the ball across her body. This is all caused by just being a little fast with her feet, which starts with the first step and an improper push away again. Now you notice how fast she was to the foul line as opposed to the shots before. Because of that, it turned her sliding foot sideways, and it's very difficult to get the ball extended out through for a good follow-through and a good release, and again, getting the ball to go through your target area and to the pocket. Now, again, as she goes through the shot again and slows down, you'll see that she'll be balanced at the foul line just by slowing her feet down and pushing the ball out with the first step, fully extended. She'll be slower, more in rhythm, and make a better shot balance-wise. Very good. Excellent. Now I think maybe we should try some of the common errors that the beginning bowler especially makes as far as spare shooting goes. Here we have a common leave, a corner pin that most bowlers will leave if the ball doesn't quite get into the pocket high enough. The 7-pin, which is, again, it's very easy to miss because you've only got one ball width to shoot at the spare. If you're a little bit too far left, it'll go in the channel and you've missed the spare. Now Sherry's going to line up to make the spare on this side of the approach using as much of the approach as possible. This is the proper place to stand. Now she's lined up properly using the center of the lane, as much lane as possible to make the spare. But here's the common mistake a lot of beginners make. They'll stand on the opposite side of the approach. In other words, the same side of the approach and lane the pin is. And if they do this, it's very difficult to make because they have a very small target area to get the ball to the pin. It'll either go into the channel or not quite get there because they're afraid of the channel and will throw it too far right. Again, never shoot the spare from this side of the lane. Always go cross lane using the maximum amount of the lane. A nice, easy, relaxed swing with a good push away and long follow through to the target, and you'll make the spare. Very good. Now we've noticed something else in her arm swing and her hand position that we might be able to change and make the ball roll a little better. We notice that Sherry's hand is on the side of the ball, which creates a tendency to get around with your arm. In other words, elbow the ball and maybe help it a little bit. Because if the hand isn't behind the ball when it starts in that 3 to 6 o'clock position, as I mentioned earlier in the program, it's very difficult to get the proper wrist action to make the ball roll right to left into the pins. Now, we're going to change her release after we watch her make this shot. This shot is going to be her normal release. Now, she's been rolling the ball with her hand on the side of the ball in this position, as I mentioned before, which creates an early rotation of making the hand go over the top of the ball. By doing this, with this kind of a release and this kind of hand position, you can see that it's difficult for her to get the ball on line without pulling the ball across her body. So by changing this position from here just to here, it's a cleaner release, a more relaxed position to roll the ball in, and makes a more firm release with the fingers. Okay, Sherry, put your hand under the ball now. A good push away and straight out through the shot. Atta girl, much better. By doing this again, she gets a firmer release at the bottom, a much stronger roll from right to left into the pins. Naturally, the ball drives harder, carries the 5-pin, gets more strikes, and again, if you can't get the strikes, we've got to make the spares. Keep that in mind, it's very important. Thank you very much, Sherry. I hope you've enjoyed learning the fundamentals of the game of bowling. I'm sure if you practice what you've seen here, you'll learn to be a better bowler, your scores will go up, you enjoy the game more, and that's what it's all about.